So that was for while loops. The second form of loop that we want to talk about here that we're going to use making our visual stimuli is the for loop. Typically we will use the for loop when we want very exquisite control on the numbers of times that we want something to occur. I like for loops because it lets me have a lot more control over just how much how many times something occurs. And I need to now introduce to you a couple of additional functions in Python. The first one is range. So the range. When we think of the range, one way to think of it is to go from one number to another number. So if we go from 0, or we go from 1 to 10, we have a range of numbers inside there. Think of them as integers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the range of numbers inside this lower to upper number bound. So what we can say is for I, we've set the iterator here. We could say anything here. We could say num equals 0, okay? And then we'll just say for num in range 1 to 10. Okay, it doesn't have to be I. I'm just using I here because it's a convention. For I in range lower number, so I want to start at 1, I want to go to 10. I then want to print current loop number is plus force it into the string, and we want to force that iterator into the string, and then we'll see what we get. Will this continue on and on and on and go on and 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 on like the while loop? Let's see. Okay. No, it didn't. So it's done the first one. Current loop is 1. Okay, so it's actually started at 1. So it's ignored this here. So we don't need to initialize the loop here if we do it this way. So current loop, so it starts at 1 and then prints out here. So it says if I is in this range here, that's true, and then it will do what's inside the loop. But you see what it's done? It's then automatically, once it's reached the bottom here, it automatically increments that number. So I is now 2. So is 2 in the range 1 to 10? Yes. And so therefore it's printed out 2. So this is true, so it's done that. It then increments again. That's now 3. Is 3 in this range 1 to 10? So here we don't need to, in a for loop, we don't have to do the I plus equals 1. We don't need to do that because the for loop structure will do that automatically. We'll just put a little signal here to say, hey, we've finished the loop. We're now on to this next part of the code. Great, so we can start to use the range of numbers, the whole number range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I need to tell you something. In Python, and when we use the range, Python will include the first number, but it does not include the last number. You see how it stops at 9. So it accepts the lower bound, but it doesn't include the upper bound. So it will actually do one less. It will stop one before the upper bound that we do that. Okay, this is important to know. So we've said, okay, for range in 1 to 10, the current loop number is string I. Let's cut and paste that. Can we just say, all right, we don't want the lower bound, we just want to do it 10 times. So let's give it a range. We know that Python will automatically update current loop. We'll call this loop second loop. So we can see what the second loop does, and we'll see what the first loop does. So this should work as well, because Python will automatically update. It starts I. We don't need to initialize I like what we did with the while loop. Let's see what we get. We'll clear here. So the first First loop number starts at 1, goes to 9. Right. Second loop number, it goes from 0 to 9. Huh. What's going on? Let me put a new line in there, just so we can split it up. Just visually, makes it easier for us to do it. So first one goes from 1 to 9. So yep, we started at 1, and like I said, it doesn't include that the larger number, the upper bound. But the second time, what's it done? It started at 0 and it's gone to 9. So again, it hasn't included that upper bound, but it starts from 0. And this is a second important thing that I need to tell you about. Python starts counting from 0 and not 1. It is called zeroth counting. And all throughout computer science and computer programming, I think the majority of them do zeroth counting. I think MATLAB does 1th counting. It will start from 1. I have to double check that, but Python, 0th counting. So if in Python you were to count to 10, you'd go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's your 10 numbers, 0 to 9. As opposed to what you probably did in primary school or kindergarten, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in school, you started at 1, finished at 10 to get 10 numbers. For Python and for many programming languages, you start at 0 and you'll go to 9 to get your 10 numbers. So that's what we see here, 0 to 9, zeroth counting. If we count up the numbers of times that this has done it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This first one has only done it 9 times. Whereas this second loop has actually done it 10 times. So how can we get this first loop to run 10 times, giving the lower and upper bound? Well, we know that Python does zeroth counting, so we can do the same thing, get it to zeroth count. So 0 to 9, there's 10 in there. 0 to 9, there's 10 in there as well. So if we go back to our visual stimulus program, what we can do is we can get rid of this while loop and we say for I in range number of repeats. We don't need to do the counting anymore. We don't need to initialize the iterator. Let's see what we get. Okay, so 0 to 14. So it's done it. There's 15 trials here. So if we only wanted to do, and we didn't need to increment because it's already a part of this. So if we wanted to put in, say, only 5 repeats, it was run the program 5 times. 5, that's 5 there. So here we can control our stimulus using the the for loop structure. And I like for loops a little bit more than while loops in this instance because now I know that I can set the range. Okay, we'll leave that there. We're going to keep the for loop in here.